Hi, my name is Dex. I'm the host of Dbshow. Welcome to another wonderful episode of This Encounter. This is 2024. Yes, the age of fast-paced 5G internet speed, laser proxy surgery, and wonderful business private jet travels. But in this rather progressive era, we still have barbaric traditional practices, especially in some part of Africa, southern part of Nigeria precisely. Our guest today was a victim of this barbaric practice. Brandished a wizard, he was supposed to be killed or thrown into some kind of evil forest. He survived, but his life was almost ruined, and he's here to tell his story. Take a look.
Hi, I'm Edidiong Mbo, serial entrepreneur. No man is someone here in Akwa Ibom. I'm from Akwa Ibom State, in case you didn't understand that. I'm here to discuss and talk about some superstitious belief amongst my people. A lot is happening in Akwa Ibom State. I conquered it, and I believe you too can conquer it. So learn from my story.
Edidiong, welcome to the show. How are you doing? Yeah, sit down, please. You know, when our producers gave me a brief of your story, it felt more like something from some epic African movies. Now you're here. Give us a background of what's really happened.
Okay, I really do not know where to start from, but I'll just start from anywhere. Growing up, I was born into a religious background, a religious family. My dad being a pastor, he's still a pastor. And my mom, I wouldn't mention the name of the church, but I mean, we all grew up, we're four in number, all grew up in that setting. The love was there, everything was fine. And in secondary school, my JSS2, I was where the twist started. My dad fell sick repeatedly, and it was looking like it was defying medical treatment, attention, and years later, we even came to know what went wrong, but I'll get to that gradually. So they got the church involved, pastors to come pray and all of that, and I was shocked at some point where they had a story came up that maybe the children are behind some of these things. The children behind, I'm the eldest in JSS2, so you can imagine my younger ones, how small they were. I'm still in primary school. My immediate younger sister was in secondary, not even in secondary school yet. So that we were responsible for my dad's ill health. How? That's okay. Have you people been seeing yourself somewhere when you sleep? What happens? That's what I mean. I'm like, when you sleep, you have dreams. Yes, we dream. And, you know, as children, then you don't even understand. You can't even place your mind on anything. So good and fine. It started from me. I was stubborn growing up. I loved football. So going outside to fetch water and to assist in any errand, you find me get to play football instead of going forward. So all of that was attributed to part of the signs that shows that, oh, this child is a witch.
Oh, wow.
And the truth is that I was meant to believe. I actually believed I was a witch, because talking about being stubborn, I felt I was stubborn, because who does that? Go and buy this, go and buy kerosene, and you go to buy kerosene, you see a compound where they're playing football, and
you leave the kerosene.
You play football, and you play for hours, not like you play and quickly play for hours, come back in the evening. You go into church, you see where they're playing football, you branch. You see where they're watching ball, you branch. So okay, I felt okay, maybe that was
something's really wrong with me.
Really wrong with me. And I went, then I was, okay, how is his academics? You see, it's because of that, he's not focused in school. That was another reason. I was not like, okay, could also be the reason why
I'm not doing well in school.
But in primary school, I was among the A students you would call in school. In JSS1, I did well, did relatively very well. But in JSS2, when the whole issue started, so I said, okay, that means there's actually something wrong with me. I'm actually a witch. Okay, so what's the way forward? That if you are not going to talk, the only way out is first you have to accept, believe that you can come out and all of that. So I said, okay, when you sleep, what do you see? Then I was, okay, when I sleep, sometimes I see myself in the midst of people and we are talking. Sometimes we share food. They say, yes, that is it. That is it. And it was a hell. Continued from that point, but my dad's health wasn't getting better. It was getting worse every day. In fact, it got to a point where he would get to work. He won't be able to stay at work. You have to come back home, go to the hospital. Every month there was literally no day or no week he wasn't visiting the hospital. I mean, getting admitted
in the hospital.
And I was feeling for it. I was like, okay, I want to come out now. How will I come out? I was prayed for several pastors prayed for me. They now said, okay, I've introduced my younger ones. And my brother, the second, we call it Udo in my place, fell for it as well. And that he was part of it. And I introduced him to it. So they called him. They interrogated him without me. I wasn't there. So he said I gave him sweets. It was this very beautiful looking sweet that was prominent in my time then. And that I brought that sweet back from school and I gave it to him. Now, we grew up in a family where when you come back from school, my mom will check your bag. If you find anything strange, you will return it, or you tell her who gave it to you, and you will return it. She will follow you to school, you return it. So a friend can't give me a gift. As beautiful as a ruler will look like, I can't get it because my parents will buy the regular ruler they believe will last long, wasn't going to get spoiled or break easily. So when you come back with a fancy one, who gave it to you? So that particular sweet was shared by a classmate who was celebrating his birthday. So because of how beautiful it was looking, I brought it back home to show my younger ones. So I ate from it, I also gave it to them. So my younger brother recalled that I brought the sweet.
That's the sweet.
That's where, yes,
I initiated him into the coven.
Initiated him to the coven. And it started. So it started, at that point, we felt it was just going to be prayers. A lot of times we had to sleep away from home, go to church to sleep because we felt going to church there to pray was going to help us out. But it was much later, I was wondering, how come we prayed for all of those times and these issues were still there? I was still a witch. I was never delivered. Now, it got to a point, a particular pastor met my dad. My dad shared what was happening in his family. So the man said, see, I have to take this thing serious. Gave him instances, families that similar stuff happened, and at the end of the day, the man died or the wife died. So you can't just take this lightly. If these children are not ready, you have to take it by force, and the flesh has to suffer. That was where it started. My dad will beat the hell out of you. We'll come back from school, and you are like, you come back from school. It's time to do your homework, and my dad is just coming back from that pastor because he was visiting that pastor on the regular. That was like his second home. So he's back, and Edidiong, Dimi, take you inside the bedroom, and you know, it's time for questioning. Am I not walking or hear me? Like, you went out this night again. Because most times, in the day, my dad might feel okay. But at night, it looks like he's not going to breathe again, or that was just going to be the end. So he wake us up. He went out last night. I'm like, he's with belt, he's with kuboko. Then there's this stuff we call kuboko.
Yes, multiple strands, yeah. Hot sweep.
So you're seeing that, you're seeing belt. And you're like, yes. So all of this, my suffering, I said, Daddy, please, we are so beat the hell out of me. So I'll just say what I don't even know. I'll begin to imagine things to say. Yes, that they said I should do this. I should bring your shoe. I should bring your clothes so he will leave me. So because it was a mechanism I knew
would work.
So I was doing that on regular. So I'll do that, I'll say all of that. We'll leave you alone. And the following morning, you won't go to school. Take you to that pastor. Pastor will pray, tell you that he had the powers to kill you, to kill us, but that he's just having mercy for us because if we die in that state, where are we going to? So that we are, that he doesn't understand why ours is looking different. I mean, this lasted for more than 5 years.
Wow.
From JSS2, I remember very well, till I finished secondary school. I was 2011, finished secondary school, this lasted. And it was back-to-back beatings. At some point, they now said, okay, that is because I'm staying with my siblings and it wasn't helping. I had to separate us. My younger brother, I had to separate my younger brother. And it now my sister got involved, but maybe because she was female, so the load of the punishment wasn't so much on her. And her last born was the smallest. But the truth is, they now said that all of us...
Everybody was now involved.
But I was wondering, all of us were involved. And my dad, we eat from the same pots. My mom, we eat from the same pots. It got to a point and I said that we shouldn't eat together again. My dad should stop eating with us, and he did. He stopped eating with us. We will start eating. It counts when you eat. It'll give you the time. Because the belief was that the flesh has to suffer so our spirit will be weak. So then we will actually
the flesh had to be weak so your spirit will be strong.
So we will now make up our mind to live or to get ready to be delivered. I'm ready to be delivered. I've said all I know, all I have imagined. Please, but nowhere. So they separated my brother. Threatened that my dad at some point said, see, you are going to one of the most expensive school in town. And I'm doing this. I didn't get that privilege, but I'm giving to you people. And this is what I'm getting. You're not going to that school any longer. You'll be going to a public school. I rolled on the ground. I begged, I cried. I went to this pastor. I just left the house and went to him. I told him that my dad is about changing me to a public school and that I don't like it, please. That I'm ready to now say everything. Now he called my father, that I'm here with him. Now at that point, they had separated my brother. My brother was staying with him.
With the pastor?
With the pastor, yes. And the children. So I was staying with my own parents. And we're not eating from the same plates any longer with my siblings. We're not sleeping together. So the pastor now said, okay, talk. I started saying a lot of nonsense. I couldn't even imagine.
Just imagine wild things, just to make it bizarre enough.
Just to make it look believable. So you know that, okay, this looks okay, yes.
A new story now.
So he now said, yes, this is it. And deep down, I said, please, let this just be the last. So he will pray for us. At that point, my dad cried. That's it. What is this? This is not what he envisaged for
his life,
his children. Trust me, a week after, to come up again, he can't sleep at night because that was just what was happening. He would find it difficult to sleep. He was just being, and then he would, and you see the funny thing, he would begin having weird dreams. He would begin having me pursue him in dreams, begin having my younger brother pursue him, just vain things. And there was someone in our extended family they didn't like so much. My own family, my uncles were not so close with him, so he took the blame of it now. I'll always mention his name. Yes, he's the one who used to come to take us out and all of that. So, I remember a particular scenario where I made up my mind I wasn't going to say any of that again. Anything that was going to happen, let it happen. If I'm going to die out of being beaten, I mean, I still have a scar. I still have those scars in me. Those scars being beaten with firewood. So I came back on this particular day from Bible study. So I had noticed my dad. How we will know that my dad is not okay? If he doesn't sleep well, in most times he sleeps at that pastor's house. So they'll do all night. They'll pray all through the night. They will come back the following morning, prepare, go to work. It is on morning shifts. But this is how we will know that things are not right. If my dad goes to work and comes back earlier than he should, that means
there's problem.
There's problem. You have to, so you have to be ready for questioning or another set of beatings. And so this particular day, I came back from Bible study. Going to church, I saw my dad in church. I didn't expect it. So, like, we were literally happy whenever my dad is not in the house because we know you have moments to rest. And I saw my dad in church, so I knew there was a problem. But I just said, no, today I'm not going to accept anything. So I came back home, and he called us. He called me, it was the first. So I said that I don't have anything again, that I don't go to any place again. I don't see myself in anywhere any longer.
How old were you at this point?
I can't really remember my age, but I finished secondary school less than 18.
Okay.
So
you had finished secondary school at this point?
No, I was still in school.
Okay.
I was still in school when this particular one happened. So I said I was not going to accept anything. Whatever was going to happen.
It happened, yeah.
So my dad asked, I said that I did not go anywhere. I didn't see myself anywhere. And I said, okay, that is what they told you. At that point, I was used to, they've given you stony hearts. That's what they told you to say. So my where we stayed, the parlor was linked to a lobby, but that lobby was being occupied by someone else. He locked the main door. So the lobby, which led to another person's, the other door from the sitting room that led to a lobby for another flat, I had to open it and escape. So I ran out, and my dad pursued me. I ran a distance that he used a bike with firewood, was flinging. So one hit me, I fell inside the gutter. So I don't know if he didn't notice I fell inside that gutter, or it was the bike person who carried him. Maybe he felt pity for me and so passed him. So I came out. I was limping. I was muddy because the gutter was soaked. There was water there. So I came out. I was limping. So I sat outside on the road. This is past 12. It's around past 12. So
afternoon or night?
Midnight. Past 12, midnight. And the area we stayed, it wasn't, you can't be normal and you're walking by that time on the road. So this was past 12. So I struggled to use some bootstrap because I was scared he was on the main road. That he might just be there looking for me and he will catch me. So I just maneuvered my way back to the compound, went inside the flower vase, slept there. So I don't know how he knew that I came inside the compound. He came out again. It was still late at night, but maybe that should be early in the morning because I wasn't with time. I didn't know. So at this point, my siblings were crying. My mom wasn't around because at that point, it got to a level, my mom, I think she didn't believe this any longer.
Yeah.
But there was nothing she could do.
She could do, yeah.
She would always say she was going to leave this house. What was she going to do? She had talked to some pastors, but I really do not understand what the advice was to her at that point. She would call us repeatedly, Edidiong, I gave birth to you. Is this thing true? What has your dad done to you people? I said, Mommy, I'm not this thing. But you're not this thing. even if him would, you should be able to. So there were times where my dad would want to beat us and she would stand on the way and it was looking like it was going to be a problem. So she wasn't around that particular night. And my dad knew, my siblings were crying that I should come inside. That even if my father wants to kill me, it's better he kills me inside than going outside and something happens to me. So I couldn't just go in. He passed through the backyard and it was a heavy wood. It was with a heavy wood. He hit me. I thought I had passed out. So maybe he felt I don't know. I don't just know what happened. Maybe that was an angel. But I think someone just came, held him. Sabasid, it's not your son. Was speaking a dialect. This kind of wood on this boy. It was the man who I couldn't walk. So the man carried me to his own veranda. When it was daybreak, I was still at the veranda. The person repeatedly asked me to come inside one of the rooms. I said no. And my dad was still going to beat me. The person said, see, no. Is that man really your dad? I said, yes, it's my father. He's the one that gave birth to you. I said, yes. Where is your mother? Because they felt I was maybe a maid or something. Where is your mother? I said, my mom is not around. So he said, okay. He took me to, this was Sunday now, took me to the house. I couldn't enter inside. My dad was preparing to leave for church. So at that point, my mom came back. Her sister had given birth. So she went to assist the sister. So my mom came back just at that point, met the man, met me. So madam, look at what just narrated the incident. My mom broke down. She cried. She went inside. So we just cried. So I couldn't go to church that day. And I was just in their house. So from there, I was now looking for, okay, now this led to some other thing. It affected my academics. I became terrible in school. There was any other thing than terrible because my school principal knew about this.
Thank you for making it to the end of today's episode. On Dbshow, we shine lights to gray and dark areas of life. Feel free to reach us on all socials to be part of this show. You can subscribe, like, share, but most importantly, click on next episode for more life-transforming experiences.